What's up everyone? It's your boy back with another video, and holy crap, we're finally getting Assassin's Creed in Japan. Like, after all these years of begging Ubisoft, they're actually doing it. So Assassin's Creed Shadows drops on March 20th, and I've been following every leak, trailer, and dev interview I could find. And let me tell you, this game looks insane. Whether you've played every AC game or this is your first rodeo, I figured I'd break down everything you need to know before jumping in. Let's just get into it. The setting and story. Assassin's Creed Shadows takes place in 1579 Japan, right in the middle of this crazy period called the Azuchi Momoyama era. Basically, Japan was coming out of this brutal warring states period, and this dude Oda Nobunaga was trying to unify the country. And if you're thinking, who the hell is Oda Nobunaga? He's basically like the Japanese equivalent of Napoleon or Alexander the Great. Super important historical figure, total badass, but also kind of a ruthless dude. The game's set in central Japan, and you'll be exploring places like Kyoto, which is the main city hub, plus Osaka, and a bunch of other cool locations. One of the sickest spots they've shown is this mountain castle called Takeda Castle. It looks straight out of a samurai movie. Oh, and history nerds will appreciate this. The game might include this famous incident called the Honnoji incident, where this samurai general named Akechi Mitsuhide betrayed Nobunaga and tried to assassinate him. I mean, it's literally got assassinate in the description, so it's perfect for an AC game. The story follows our two main characters who start on opposite sides of this whole unification conflict. They meet, realize they both want revenge for different reasons, and decide to team up instead of just murdering each other. Classic video game stuff, but it actually looks pretty compelling from what they've shown. The dual protagonists. Okay, so for the first time since Syndicate, we've got two playable characters and they're completely different from each other. First up is Yasuke, and get this, he's actually a real historical figure. He was an African samurai who served under Nobunaga. Like, this dude actually existed. In the game, he's this absolute unit who wears heavy armor and swings around these massive weapons like the Kanabo, which is basically a giant metal club that'll mess you up. If you're the type who just wants to go in and wreck shop, Yasuke's your guy. His combat looks brutal, reminds me a bit of God of War, but with that Assassin's Creed flavor. Then we've got Naoe, who's this female shinobi assassin. She's fictional, but she's supposed to be the daughter of this real ninja master from the Iga clan. She's basically what you think of when you think classic Assassin's Creed. Parkour, stealth, hidden blade, all that good stuff. Her gameplay is all about staying hidden, using gadgets like smoke bombs and throwing stars, and taking out enemies without being seen. She's got this sick grappling hook too that lets her zip around environments. The cool thing is, you can switch between them during free roam, but certain story missions will force you to use one or the other. Each character has their own storyline that connects with the other one, so you're getting two perspectives on everything that's happening. Gameplay mechanics. Let's talk about how this thing actually plays. So the stealth system has gotten a major overhaul. If you played Mirage, it's building on that foundation but with a ninja twist. The lighting and shadow system isn't just for show, it actually affects gameplay. Like, you can literally hide in shadows now, and it works way better than in previous games where you'd be hidden, but enemies could somehow still spot you from a mile away. The combat feels different, depending on who you're playing as. With Yasuke, it's all about these heavy, impactful attacks. You're not going to be doing a lot of dodging and parrying. You're there to crush people. It's like if Ghost of Tsushima and God of War had a baby. With Naoe, combat is more about quick strikes, counters, and using your environment. If you get surrounded as Naoe, you're probably screwed, so the game encourages you to pick enemies off one by one. One of the coolest new features is this customizable hideout that works as your base. It's kind of like the homesteads from older AC games, but way more interactive. You can recruit allies to your cause, upgrade your gear, and even decorate the place. Oh, and the game has this dynamic weather and season system that actually changes how you play. Like, rain makes it harder for enemies to hear you, but also makes certain surfaces slippery. Snow changes how you move around. It's not just visual, it affects gameplay. The devs are saying the main story takes about 30 to 40 hours, but if you're a completionist like me who has to do every side quest and find every collectible, you're looking at around 80 hours. That's a pretty good length, not as bloated as Valhalla, but still meaty. What makes Shadows unique? So why should you care about this one if you've played other AC games? First off, it's freaking Japan. Fans have been begging for this setting since like Assassin's Creed 2, and from what I've seen, they've nailed the atmosphere. The architecture, the clothing, the weapons, it all looks authentic as hell. The dual protagonist thing isn't just a gimmick either. Having these two completely different playstyles means you can approach missions however you want. Stealth not working out? Switch to Yasuke and just demolish everyone. Getting wrecked in combat? Switch to Naoe and take a more careful approach. The assassination missions are also going back to the roots of the series. They're non-linear, meaning you can take out targets in any order, and each one has multiple ways to approach. Some targets you'll just stumble across while exploring. Others will require careful planning and infiltration. And the game is giving us way more choice than recent AC titles. The customizable hideout, the recruitment system, the different approaches to missions, it all adds up to a game that lets you play your way. Details and dates. Alright, let's wrap this up with some practical info. Assassin's Creed Shadows drops on March 20th, 2025. It's coming to PS5, Xbox Series X or S, and PC through Steam, Epic, and Ubisoft Connect, plus Mac and Amazon Luna. They're even bringing it to iPad eventually, which is wild. If you're planning to preload, PC players can start on March 17th. PlayStation folks can begin on March 18th at midnight local time. The game unlocks on March 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific, which is midnight Eastern on March 20th. Performance-wise, Ubisoft seems to have learned their lesson from previous launches. This one's built specifically for current-gen hardware, so it should run a lot smoother than the cross-gen titles we've seen recently. Loading times should be way better too. And that's pretty much everything you need to know before diving into Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm personally hyped as hell for this one. It looks like they're taking the best parts of the series and putting them in the setting we've all wanted. Drop a comment letting me know if you're more excited to play as Yasuke or Naue. I'm definitely leaning toward Naue because I love the stealth gameplay, but Yasuke looks badass too. If you enjoyed this video and want more Assassin's Creed content, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be covering all aspects of Shadows when it drops. Best builds, hidden secrets, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.